Queen of Swords, front and center. Air energy. So what's going on with the Queen of Swords? Eight of Cups. She's leaving someone behind. You could be an air sign. You could be with an air sign, female. She's invested a lot of her time and energy and love with somebody. And she's no longer doing so. She's walking away and turning her back. She's celebrating it, actually. She's celebrating her losses. 1:11 on the clock as I say that. There's a female here that is celebrating walking away from a bad relationship, a bad situationship, some sort of bad love. But she's happy over her triumph. She's starting to celebrate. Justice will be served to people that do good things. Whatever you give into the world comes back to you. And she's getting her justice. And she's celebrating her wins. Sometimes your losses can be celebrated. Sometimes your losses are your wins. Sometimes God takes away people from you that were never really good for you to begin with. This person had to play a lot of mind games. She couldn't show her true face all the time because she was nervous, maybe. She was inquisitive over this person. She couldn't fully trust him. There might be a lot of other females around him, and that's why she's walking away. He was entertaining too many other females. He was flirting too much. Flirting is a very low-key way of cheating. Even if you're not fully engaging with someone physically, if you are with a man and they are still flirting with other females when he's supposed to be committed to you, he's spreading his energy and his attention outward. Why would he do that? There's a lot of low self-esteem with this man. Whatever the case was, she couldn't take it and she had to hold back. She had to play his game, and that's tiring. There could have been a family that broke up over this. But she's celebrating because she's getting her justice now. It might have taken a long time to walk away. Her masks are coming off because who wants to live with masks on all the time? King of Pentacles. This person she could have been married to. And the Temperance, again, with the balancing of forces and justice. This could be Sagittarius energy. This could be Earth energy. It could be Libra. This person is getting her justice by walking away. That was someone that wasn't playing fair with her. If you are in an unfair relationship of any kind, eventually it's going to break you down. You can't always give. And if the other person is not giving back the same kind of a loyalty, the same kind of love, walking away is a victory. And now she's pouring back into her own cup. With this temperance card in this reading I'm getting, she's pouring into herself now. She's balancing out herself because she felt so imbalanced with this man. She knew something was wrong, and there was a lot of mind games, a lot of trickery happening, and she knew it within herself, but it constantly tipped her cups over. She was pouring, she wasn't getting anything back. She felt like she was investing in someone that was solid, someone that was grounded, someone that was mature. This wasn't the case. I feel divorce happening here. There's the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles here. She thought that this man was loving. She thought that this man was secure. She thought that this man was someone that... We have 555 on the clock that I said that. This is definitely a changing of thought patterns with this person. She thought that this man was mature in love. She thought this person was wealthy, in a stable kind of way, not in just monetary ways. But she was wrong. It changed. Her mind changed. And now she's pouring back into herself and celebrating that. Death card comes out, which is exactly what we're trying to say here. She's putting a death to old ways. She's putting a death to what she thought was. She's moving on. But she's actually happy. Believe it or not, when you can rejoice in your sorrow, that is a real big power move, because what God changes for you, there's a reason. And change hurts. Change is scary. Change really sucks sometimes, especially when you're walking away from a relationship or a love that you once thought was love. But when you realize that it's not true love, when you realize that it's not what you thought it was, you can rejoice in the fact of leaving. Interesting. This happened fast. These things are popping out fast here. This happened really fast. She changed her mind fast. It's like when you're when you rationalize someone's behavior for so long, right? And you're giving them the benefit of the doubt, but deep down inside, you know that it's wrong. But you're like, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. You're trying to be ignorant on purpose. Eventually, something cracks. Something cracks open, and you're like, you know what? No mas. No more of this shit. You know, this is not getting me where I need to go, right? She's trying to invest in her life and herself, and it wasn't working. And when you're spinning your wheels and you're constantly just in a state of flux, it's almost like you're in purgatory. You know, you're not quite there, but you don't want to be where you are. You're stuck. You feel stuck. This person felt stuck. She felt stuck in this relationship. She felt stuck in what she thought this person was versus the reality of it. I also have the Page of Swords. She was constantly in her head, constantly curious about what this man was doing, constantly trying to figure out what he was saying to her, if it was true or not. Like, if you have to constantly question the person that you're with, whether it's your husband, your boyfriend, someone that you're dating, if you have to constantly question whether or not they're telling you the truth, that is so exhausting. And also, your intuition is telling you that you can't trust this person. So now your mind is arguing with your intuition, and that's exhausting. So the whole relationship was exhausting. She felt downtrodden. She felt deceived. And then she had to put on her own mask, because now you have to deceive back. These cards are flipping out. This is all about choice. Who you choose to be with. The Six of Wands. Being chosen. This man might have chosen her, right? And she thought that this was a real relationship. She thought that this was the real deal. He might have gone through a few things to make her think that this was the real thing, right? Let's buy a house together. Let's get married. Let's have a kid. Let's do all the things, right? But this man wasn't actually being truthful still. Like, there's men out there, not good ones, but there's men out there that will actually get married to a woman and still cheat and still flirt and still look outside of the relationship for validation. And this woman realized that after the fact, unfortunately. She invested all of herself and her time, and now she's walking away, though. She's choosing herself. You still have to vet people that choose you, the Lovers. You vet people that choose you because sometimes a man will choose you and he will have bad intentions still. He might not be ready to have a full-blown relationship. He might have used her for other benefits to himself besides just being in a loving commitment. He didn't want commitment. He wanted something else from her. And he got it by faking, by future faking, by going through the motions, but he didn't really mean it. He went through the motions as like a play. See how these masks are like that play where it's like the good face and the bad face? She was just a character in his play. She was sweet to him. She gave to him. She treated him like a child in a sense that, not in a demeaning way, but like she truly loved him. She cared for him. She poured her heart into him. She pet him, right? She pet him and she said, it's okay now. You're with me. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to love you. You chose me. I choose you, right? She thought I was going to be forever, the infinity symbol. She was wrong. This lion snapped on her. This lion still wanted other... He wanted a pride of women around him still. He couldn't get enough out of one relationship. It was selfish. The Chariot. He drove himself into the ground. That's what I just heard. He drove himself into the ground. Wow. Some guys will never be satisfied in life. 12:12 on the clock. They'll never be satisfied, even if they meet a wonderful woman, even if they met their match, like a true love. They still won't be satisfied because they're not satisfied with themselves inside. They're either coming from low self-esteem. They don't know what they want, quote unquote, which means that they want everything. They're selfish. They need attention from women constantly. This could be a Leo. It could be just someone that constantly needs multiple women vying for their attention to make themselves feel important, but they'll never ever fully commit their own heart because they're not worth it. They know that. They feel like that inside. That's where the low self-esteem comes from. This person is a lover boy. This person likes to just flirt and never actually do what he says. He talks a lot of shit. 1313. He mirrors people on purpose to play them, but he'll never really tell you the real truth, Moon. He'll never really tell you the real truth. So this person, this guy, played with this woman's heart, but he never really showed her his real self, because if he did, she wouldn't have been with him. She wouldn't have entertained him. Knight of Pentacles. He might have offered her marriage. He might have offered her a lot of monetary things. She felt like she could rest finally in life and just be secure in life. You know, when you find a person that you can finally feel safe with, someone that you could finally feel rested with, where you could rest your weary bones. I don't know why I heard that, but this woman felt like she could rest. She felt like she could finally take it easy and not be so weary when it comes to men. This person used that against her. He could have married her and babied her up, you know, made her feel like she was secure in life, but he was not doing that. It was all a facade. It was a play. He might be a thespian. He might be on a stage. This person's sneaky. He's a trickster and a liar. There's a lot of yellow here. This person lied a lot to this woman. right? There's a lot of deception here. Good and bad, good and bad. It's like a trauma bond where malicious people will use trauma bonding on purpose. They'll love bomb you and then they'll pull it away. They'll love bomb you and then they'll pull it away. And then you're in this state of flux, right? And you become attached because of the cognitive dissonance that happens. And if you are not smart enough to know that or become aware of that or even recognize that, oh boy, you're in for a ride. This person, like I said, drove themselves into the ground. He drove this relationship into the ground. Eventually, he hits a wall. She leaves, but now she's actually happy. The wheel keeps on turning. She leaves. Another leaving card. She takes her belongings, whatever she has left, and she left. She left him. She left the deception. She brought all her truths with her, whatever she figured out, whatever truth she had left, and she turned her back to the past. She left this deceptive man. You see how she's like, this is a guy, but she might have a small child, some other person in her family. She turned her back to this deception. All of these lies. I choose you. Here's a pentacle. We can be stable together. I'm a knight on a horse, blah, 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 right? She thought it was forever. He played her. And now she left him. Hey, that's a difficult road because you waste a lot of time with people that do that. And it's maddening because men that do this to women, they have zero concern about you. They don't give a shit about how you feel. They will waste your time for years. They'll use up all of your beautiful energy. They'll take your soul for a joyride, right? And they don't care if they chew you up and spit you out. They don't care if you are haggard or heartbroken after their time with you. They used you. It was very selfish. She called him out on it, right? And that could get nasty. But again, the guy acts like the victim then. Oh, she's so mean. She's nasty. Boo, boo, boo. So it's reactive abuse then as well. It's very narcissistic. When a narcissist or someone narcissistic constantly treats you like shit, right? And you hold it in for so long, and then all of a sudden you just explode. You call them out. You call them out on their behavior, right? And you're gonna be angry, right? You're going to be frustrated. You're gonna be all these negative things. Then instead of actually admitting that they have any sort of responsibility, they just point their finger back at the person and they say, look at you. You're out of control. You're nasty. Right? So they pretend to be the victim all of a sudden because now all of a sudden you're calling them out on their shit. She caught him. She caught him. Maybe it was online, on social media. He was creeping around. He was DMing other girls. He was definitely fooling around with other girls online, and she caught him. And she kicked him out. She became obsessed with it because what woman wouldn't? If she invested all of her time and energy, her body, her marriage, right, with this man, she became obsessed with finding out the truth because anyone in their right mind would. She held on to it for so long until she finally found the answer. She found him creeping along. He's a creep. He's lecherous. He's selfish. He's a flirt. He can't control himself. He's not willing to give any sort of good behavior to anyone. This is someone that you should avoid at all costs, but a lot of people get caught up in this, and it shouldn't be her fault to not know better, right? Because he was so deceptive. He married her. Usually when you feel like a man marries you, he loves you, but not always the case, unfortunately. This could have happened really fast. That usually happens. If you get into a relationship really fast, you get married really fast with someone, it's not romantic. Sometimes it could work, but sometimes it can't. Sometimes it's something deceptive instead. This woman has gone through it. This woman went through a lot of shit. There was sparks. He uses sexuality to... He used sexuality to get her hooked. But there's a void in him because there's nothing else to him but sex. That's it. He's a one-trick pony. This guy was a one-trick pony playing a role to trick this woman into thinking that he was an actual real man. He's nothing of a man. He's a boy. And this woman found out after the fact, unfortunately. And yeah, she could be really angry over that. Who wouldn't be? She wasted a lot of time. And now he's attached to her because of other things. It's called karma. Oh, this was a really bad love story. I don't know how I got into this one. So whoever this is, let's turn the pages here and let's see what happens after she walks away. This woman is celebrating with the Three of Cups. So now, what happens after she walks away? Ten of Pentacles. Woo! Culmination. Unexpected, a financial windfall. Trust funds. A solid foundation happens after you walk away from garbage. So you see what happens? You shouldn't be afraid to walk away from something that you know is absolutely wrong for you. If you're with a fuckboy or someone that just literally wasted all of your time, they were a player, they played a really good role, you know, like they should have a standing ovation for themselves. Good job, look at you, you're such a good liar. This person knows now, she walked away, and now she's going towards the Ten of Pentacles. Something real, something solid, something worth holding on to. The Ten of Pentacles is not a game. It's not a game player. It's not a fuckboy. She's looking for something real now, and look what happens when she does that. You have to decide to walk away, and she did. And look what else pops out, the Emperor. That's exactly the kind of energy that every woman wants, is the Emperor. You want to find an Emperor type, you got to walk away from any kind of garbage that you were in. No matter what you're in, you have to know the truth. You have to believe it for what it is, and you have to walk away. In order to get the Emperor, something stable, someone that is actually dependable, someone that's a real father figure, someone that's real to hold on to, you have to walk away. You have to invest in the right people, and you have to know that you deserve it. So this is an interesting card to have last in the Ten of Pentacles, last front and center, is through this nightmare of a relationship that this woman went through. There's still hope at the end of the tunnel here. There's still light at the end of the tunnel. Your life isn't over. It's not game over yet. You just have to choose to walk away. And it's been a difficult road for this woman. But she's intelligent enough to walk away. She's intelligent enough to not invest in a man, or a quote-unquote man, that spreads himself thin with other women constantly, even through marriage. Not good energy at all. She made a truce with herself. You know, like she's like, you know what? It is what it is. He played me like a fiddle. He ran himself into the ground. He ran this relationship into the ground. And now I'm walking away with whatever I have left. And now I'm going forward and I'm finding an Emperor with the Ten of Pentacles. That is huge turnaround. That's a huge turnaround. That's a man waiting on the other side. And in order to find someone that's actually stable, someone that's actually worth holding on to, you have to learn to walk away from it. You have to walk away from the game playing. the feeling insecure because this man is choosing other people constantly besides his own wife. Not good energy. So whoever this woman is, there is a winning streak that happens after she finally hits the wall and says no more. And she finds an emperor on the other side.